But yeah, going back, so every day waking up was hard, man. Like we spoke before about this being jobless, right? But I was here for one girl, and I was at this point I was financially able to stay there. I had money saved that I could support myself, and stick around, and it was all right. And but it's just hard to wake up every day not knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
And the only thing keeping me motivated was just the fact that I could just be with her, kind of.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when you make that big move you actually decide to come over. It's like, okay, sitting at home for a couple of months, like I can't even go because you rely on your partner so much,
Yeah,
to do anything. You want to reserve a table because I'd be like, oh, I'll take Mel out for dinner. Okay, I can't even call the restaurant or wherever to book a table because what I'm going to say, I was like, shit, I don't want to talk in English either.
Yeah.
It's like not when I'm on the phone. And then, so it's like, oh, okay, hey, Melina, can you book the table? Hey, Melina, can you order me this?
And then it's not special anymore.
And then it's not special anymore. And then it takes like some of your masculinity away.
It does.
As well.
100%.
Because always before, you'd ring up like cars for us and to do work. And I'm reading through contracts for the house that we're in. And I'm like, I don't understand any of this.
Yeah.
And then you put the pressure on, can you translate that? Can you translate that?
Yeah.
And then you go meet up with friends and they're all talking in, like Melina's friends or family, and they're all talking. And then you're like just the weird person. Because after a while, it feels like that you're just the weird dude sitting there that people will turn over and be like, hey, Johnny, this person said that and that. And they'll catch up. And you're just like, and then everyone, because the whole group has to stop while you catch up and someone tells you what's going on. Yeah. And you're like, all your eyes are on you. And you're like, just feel like an idiot.
I hated that as well. Oh, I mean, if it still happens, 100%.
Yeah,
it's better now, but like you just get used to being the person that's left out. And when you are left out and then you get caught up, then that sucks too. I'd rather just be left out because what happens is there's a discussion. Let's talk about coronavirus, right? Yeah. And the discussion is about coronavirus, and then someone or Maria will be like, okay, well let's just I'll tell Johnny, I'll translate to Johnny what we just talked about.
Yeah.
And then I can't give the genuine reactions to the jokes.
When it was actually happening.
When it's happening, because they're laughing about, okay, this happened, and they'll laugh.
And then you're getting told 5 minutes later, and you're like...
And then you have to laugh because everyone else laughed, but it's not funny because you weren't in the moment. No. It's not the same.
And when that gets taken away from you, you're just like... It gets a bit depressing sometimes. When you
mate.
But I don't know.
And it affects the relationship a lot. Like the guy is meant to be stereotypically or traditionally the caretaker, the person that organizes or maybe does most of the hard work.
Yeah.
But I feel like we just even finding an apartment, she just does all the talking.
Yeah.
And she does all the signing. She gets all of the paperwork ready. And there's no other way to get around it though, until you learn German.
Until you learn German, exactly. And when it comes down to stuff like that, like you said, it affects on your relationship, and because you put so much, because I have to put so much on Melina, and that'll happen for years. That's not going to go away anytime soon. It gets better, but when you're looking at work contracts, you're looking at house contracts, you can't mess that stuff up. So it has to be, you have to know exactly 100%. What's going on.
Yep.
But when it's, like you say, if you can't even ring up to book your car in for a service or ring up and ask if a place is open or if they have a certain, like, you want to go get a haircut, make an appointment. To make an appointment for a haircut, this is things, back at home, this is things you don't even think about. You just pick up the phone. Oh, yeah, hello, can I do this? Yep, no worries.
Yep.
Done.
Yep.
Write it down, 2:30 on Friday.
Yeah.
Happy days. Or someone comes to you and they're like, can you ring such and such because I need to get something done and you might know someone there. And you're like, and you need that as a person as well. You like to be able to be like, I did something, I achieved something, especially when everything gets taken away. When I moved here, that's like everything got taken away.
Yeah. Especially
Especially when at home, a lot of people would ask for either advice or help.
Right.
Personally, from me, it would either be with something with a car or with bikes or with anything.
Yep. Fixing, repairing,
or it would just be general, like, we're going forward drive on such and such here, or we're going to this beach, do you know? And you'd be able to, look, I'll speak to this person, and I'll let you go through there, or I know this place out here, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like you're useful for something, right? And it's stuff that I didn't even think about beforehand. And then you move here, and it's like, all right, no one needs any help apart from me.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, Melanie, can you do this?
Yeah.
Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do this?
Turns around.
And then I get frustrated as well. And I'm like, I'm just putting so much on this one person. I'm like, Matt, I would have snapped by now. Right?
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah.
And then the fights happen from it. And you're like, yeah, well, what can you do? I don't know. There's no fix to it.
Yeah, no.
Until you are fluent in that language.
And actually, you know what? Because we make friends here with other expats that are English speaking naturally, as you like, you just sort of magnet. What's the word?
What are you trying to say?
Like you
use
you
your
know,
words there.
You know, magnets attract you. You attract other English speakers naturally, right?
Yeah.
So I remember
they all say the same thing as well.
Yeah, but the girlfriends or the partners always say the same thing too. Is that actually for them the resilience is something that no one speaks about. Everyone comes to me and says, "Oh, that's crazy. You moved here from New Zealand. Oh, it must have been so hard learning German and this and this." But the girlfriends don't get any attention. They need to put up. They need to be resilient enough to keep a relationship going, whilst we are basically asking everything from them all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Maria, I need to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
I can't even do that myself.
Yeah.
She needs to do that for me. And then that, over time, as you just said, takes a toll on her. And that's why it's also very important to remember that the partner, the other side, also need to be very resilient.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot.
Especially with a couple of blokes like us as well.
100%. But
even without that, Jesus. Shout out to our girlfriends because bloody hell, you guys are putting up with a lot.
Hopefully we can repay you with some beautiful trips through New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah, wow, mate, wouldn't that be a blessing?
That'd be great, wouldn't it? One day
it's going to happen.
One day we'll get there.
Yeah, we're going to see everyone back at home.
Mate.